All right, well, welcome. Today we have a great guest with me. We have Judy Cooperberg, and Judy's with Mental Health America of Los Angeles. Good afternoon, Judy, or good morning, well, not quite afternoon yet. So good morning, Judy, how are you?
Good morning, Mark. I'm doing very well, thank you.
Awesome. So let's jump right into it. Mental Health America of Los Angeles, and we're up in the Antelope Valley. So what's Mental Health America, and what do you guys do?
Well, Mental Health America of Los Angeles is a chapter of our national Mental Health America, MHA, and we've been in the Antelope Valley we just celebrated 30 years, believe it or not.
In the Antelope Valley.
In the Antelope Valley, our Los Angeles chapter.
Oh, that's awesome. That's nice.
Yeah.
And you're in a fairly new building. I mean,
It's
you haven't
10
been there
years.
It's been 10 years since you
Yeah.
moved onto Sierra Highway.
We built that 10 years ago.
Wow.
I know how time flies. And I've been with MHA 38 years. I started as a volunteer, so I truly believe in volunteerism.
Building a better community, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Every way
So
we
where
can.
did you start then? Did you start down in Los Angeles or?
My first work with MHA as a volunteer was in Van Nuys. I lived in the San Fernando Valley. And I started creating programs for them. I got hired after a year of being a volunteer. And so I got hired in '82, full-time.
Okay.
And I just kept on developing programs, and I was invited by the LA County Department of Mental Health to come up to Antelope Valley, and I said, where's that? And came out here and absolutely fell in love with the community. So I just worked really hard to bring mental health resources out here because there really wasn't any at that time.
So you brought the chapter up to the Antelope Valley then? You opened up the whole
The division
up here?
Of the chapter, yes.
Okay, so the chapter is still part of Los Angeles. We're still the LA
Mental Health
Mental
America
Health
of Los
America of
Angeles.
Los Angeles chapter. Division is the Antelope Valley then.
Right.
So we're just like a branch office or something like that off the main.
Yeah.
Very cool. How big's your facility? Yeah, so your facility's on Sierra Highway. It's just north of Lancaster Boulevard, right?
Correct. That's our big facility, but we are also in Palmdale.
Oh.
So we've had a program there, or different programs in Palmdale since 1999. And we're about to move into the 1529 East Palmdale, the old AV College campus.
Okay. Yeah.
And so we've got the whole third floor and a bunch of suites on the first floor. So
Wow.
we're really concentrating on expanding and providing services in the city of Palmdale and the South Valley.
Nice. So I want to get into more about who you're serving, how many people you're serving, what type of things do you see, where's the needs. But also, I want to go first, I want to talk about a new program you guys have, and that's your mental health first aid. So let's do that since I know we have time. So, and I think that's a really cool program. So let's talk a little bit about that. So tell me about it.
Well, mental health first aid was actually created in Australia. And for the last several years, the National Council on Behavioral Health has taken that curriculum with the intent of teaching all kinds of people in the community about mental health issues, how to deal with your neighbors, your friends, your family members, your coworkers who are dealing with significant mental health issues, and understanding different diagnoses like depression, anxiety, different kinds of psychoses, substance abuse problems, identifying those and how to do interventions and access resources in the community. So we were, one of the cornerstones of Mental Health America of Los Angeles is public education. And so we invested in a number of our staff becoming trainers in mental health first aid. And it is, the National Council on Behavioral Health has I think it's called the propriety, where they have the license to teach the trainers, and so it's a very prescribed training, and so there's parameters you have to follow. So here in Antelope Valley we have 4 trainers, and we just received a grant from Kaiser Permanente for 2 years to provide a mental health first aid class every month in the Antelope Valley.
Wow.
So we're real excited about it. Kaiser has been an amazing partner for MHA.
And
for
how many
several
people
years.
can you train in a class?
Well, the prescription by the National Council is a minimum of 15 and a maximum of 30 in a class.
Nice.
So we have to keep to that. If we have around 20 or so, then we're in good shape with that grant. And so we just completed our first class in March, and we have another one coming up in April. That class is almost full, and people can go online to our website, and that's where they sign up, and the grant underwrites 75% of the tuition. So it's normally
Wow.
$100 for a student, and so it only costs them $25.
Oh, I mean, that's practically free.
The book,
That's-
the manual itself that everyone gets,
Is more,
that is about that cost.
I'm about to say,
yeah.
it's probably twice that cost just to get the book in there.
Yeah.
Wow. And so if we're looking at people that want to get this mental health first aid, are we looking more at employers or just people that are in the workplace, or we're just looking at neighbors in the community? Who are we targeting? Who would you want to have fill your class up with?
Everybody.
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 We only can do 30 at a time, so we can't try to do everybody.
Well, there's always a chance of applying for another grant, and, based on the success of this program, that's very possible. So it is geared for the general population. If you think about it, 1 in every 3 families are affected by some mental health issue, 1 in 5 people. So the odds are is pretty much everybody knows somebody who has a mental health issue.
Right. So it can be educators. It can be. I mean, it doesn't have to be your HR manager.
No.
It can be employees of a company.
As a matter of fact, for almost 4 years, we've been providing mental health first aid classes at Antelope Valley College. And we've, I can't remember, I think it's about 500 people we've trained.
Wow.
And so they were exclusively for the faculty, staff, and students of AV College, and then they opened it up for CSU Bakersfield as well. So that's a pretty broad spectrum of population to serve.
You need to be 18 years or older, or what's the?
You have to be
criteria?
17 or older.
17 or older.
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes.
So we're geared towards adults.
Correct.
Which are, and really we're hoping to help people identify, and then to help guide them. Is that what we're trying to do? Is guide them into the right treatment or the right?
Well, there's a lot of stigma attached to mental illnesses or mental health conditions, and when you don't understand something, you tend to be afraid of it. And so you avoid, you stigmatize, you discriminate, and that's very prevalent. So we find that the more educated people are about mental health that affects so many people, the better people can cope with it. People are more likely to get help, and if they have support, they're more likely to deal with their mental health issues more effectively.
Okay. Classes how long? How many hours in a class?
The prescribed class is 8 hours, so the classes are, right now they're going to be the second Friday of each month from 8
Okay.
a.m. till 5 p.m. with a lunch break in there. And you have to finish the whole class, but at the end of the class, you do get certified by the National Council on Behavioral Health.
Oh, that's really cool. That's a great program. So that's Mental Health First Aid. You can sign up online. What's the website there?
It is www.buildyourownbox.org/AV.
Cool. One more time.
buildyourownbox.org/AV. Or you can
Nice.
call me.
And what's your number, Judy?
My number is 661-579-8352.
Awesome program. People, if you're out there, you need to get up, you need to do your mental health first aid. You probably have done CPR maybe in your life. This is just as important. In fact, you'll probably use it more. Well, hopefully you use it more than you will CPR. Hopefully you don't have to do that very often. So, and then I think we have about another minute or so. Let's talk a little bit about in your facility up here. How many people are you serving up here? What are you seeing up here? What are your needs up here?
Well, we estimate as far as our direct services go, we probably serve around to 7,000 people a year. And we have quite a number of programs. So we do focus on people with serious mental health issues, and we like to call it a Get a Life program. So we help people get a life in the community through employment, housing, connection to their community, education. And we really believe in recovery and the fact that despite any diagnosis, you can have a very fulfilling, productive life. And so we try to help people get over the self-stigma of mental illness as well. We also have a program for veterans. It's our housing stability program, and it is a non-mental health program for veterans and their families who are homeless or at risk of being homeless. And that's our contract with the VA.
Wow, that's great. So yeah, I mean, that's wonderful. And you serve both, and we're serving both communities. We're serving Lancaster, we're serving Palmdale,
The entire Antelope Valley,
Yeah.
and now Santa Clarita.
and Santa Clarita.
Yeah.
Are you running Santa Clarita too, or someone else running that?
We're developing programs there now, and we also have a military resource center there for the last couple of years.
Awesome. So I'm here with Judy Cooperberg with Mental Health America of Los Angeles, right here in the Antelope Valley. And give us the website and your phone number real quick before we wrap up, just in case. So get your pencil out, people.
For mental health first aid is buildyourownbox.org/AV, and my personal number at work is 661-579-8352.
Great. Thank you, Judy. Great having you on the show today.
Thank you, Mark.